My ears are ringing.
You know what it means when you see the angelic look of outside behind me? That means we are actually getting out of the shop. It's finally time to dyno the 3-rotor. Our goal is to max out the current turbocharger, which is about 850 horsepower. We'll see. We haven't ran this turbo before. I want to get good at tuning the fuel tech. I want to get good at making this thing rowdy. Max this one out, and then we're going for 1,000 on a new turbo. But we'll go into that unboxing later. It's what it's been needing to do for so long. Let's get to it. The trailer's right behind you. The car is on this angle. I'm gonna have to take it for a quick spin around in the daylight to get it lined up.
That's a first.
It is a first. This dyno's very full circle for me, and I know we're not gonna make the crazy 1,000 horsepower just yet because the turbo just literally can't produce that much boost. Having the 3-rotor, making power, being drivable, capable of being a street car. I have a couple things that I'm really worried about with this dyno session. One is that I have a whole different ECU, and it does not do VE-based tuning. Also, when you have semi-peripheral, basically when you start using the semi-P, timing changes, things change, and you have to add more fuel, and we don't know exactly what that is. So I've got a lot of different variables. Even the wastegate control is all weird. So, you know, our goal is to just max out the wastegate spring, you know, work up, work up, work up. Then we'll see where we get too much back pressure and take it from there. We're here. They're ready for us to back it in. That'd be crazy to have an open wheel rotary car. That'd be really wild. Under its own power.
Oh, the chain.
Everything's disconnected now.
Yeah. Under its own power, yeah.
Describe how important this moment is to me. It's less than the 4-rotor. Let's all acknowledge that, but it's more about the history and where I've came from and making those things right. So this is a super exciting moment, and we'll see what she does. But she is super torquey at the low end. We still have to get a base map, but I got it here, and it's pretty drivable. That's really a surprise to me.
That's when somebody forgets to put 2 lug nuts on your wheels, and you have to just borrow steal some lug nuts.
If you're trying to get him to rate,
Yeah, I want him to rate like.
You can't put a number on this car.
Yeah, you can.
I haven't even seen it. I'm barely looking at it now.
Yeah, that's why I want like your honest opinion. You know, like I know you see the intercooler. You know, the fins are all messed up, and
Don't walk him down that path. Let him find everything wrong.
In your professional opinion, like is it a 5, a 7? Like I know the 3-rotor puts it up like 2 more points, but
Let me at least look at it first.
Yeah, let him absorb it.
You have 45 seconds.
How much you buy it off me right now? It's sad that the Dahm built engine is the most valuable part of this car. That's scary.
I'm proud of
you.
you.
No. The T56 Magnum I had nothing to do with, and the 48.8 rear end.
I forgot about that.
So it's a pretty stout drivetrain.
The harness was good, huh? That's a first.
That is.
I've never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah.
I saw it in your eyes, so I just want to say it for you.
I like how it's tucked, it's hidden. Back
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a full-blown shitbox. It did not have power steering. I put power steering back on it. It has E85 now, where it didn't before. I have an actual breather catch can. I didn't before.
This might slip on me.
Yeah, damn it. He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
You know, this is the engine. I got 5 dowels through it all the way. These are tight. We're talking 1,000th and a half of slop, which is basically not press fit, but that nice slide fit, versus 20 to 25 thousandths. So
That'll wiggle around.
yeah.
Badass in the cool welds, you know, like
Did you do those?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did all the fabrication.
That's a machine. Those are machine welds.
This was when I just did the water cooler machine at I just did it at Abel's, and so I had it going out of the gallon, literally a gallon.
Oops.
Yeah, that was my first welds with the synchro wave.
Yeah.
When I said titanium color, see that's how your manifold should have came out.
I do like that color a lot.
Looks somewhat badass.
He copied me on my swirl tank.
Actually,
Yours first.
yours was perfected. This is version
Earlier one.
version 1.3, something like
Yeah.
that.
I do love this car though. I love all these cars. What we're gonna do first is row through the gears, go to 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, just get all the different RPMs figured out, get a feel for the rough base map, pause, stare at it for a couple minutes and going, I don't have no idea what I'm doing, I'm out of my league. Come back to it and then start making baby pulls. So that's the strategy, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Somewhere it's slowly getting better, but you know it's a map that I'm not too familiar with, but we're making progress. I'm gonna start doing some baby pulls just to see what comes up the map. That was our very first pull, and of course it was not without issues. Oil pressure dropped about 30 psi towards the end of the pull. I looked at the dipstick and it's completely empty. The good news is that we hit wastegate pressure of 14 psi, so we know the springs inside of there are 14 psi. We hit that early and carried that through. So I'm gonna just hope that we didn't do much damage to the car because of low oil pressure, and thankfully wastegate spring, like I left all the wastegate stuff off. It was a good pull, it told me a lot of data. So juggling so much at once, but we got a hot oil cooler, a cold oil cooler. We almost have all the parts in for Holly's main oil cooler, so we're dealing with some weird stuff. 14 psi, and it made, without any tuning, 489. This is actually pretty accurate. I pulled off at 7,000 RPM, so as you can see, it was still rising. But torque, just like boost, those two kind of go up at the same time. It got really rich there. It was like almost 0.6. So that you see that stumble. So we'll clean that up as we go. I put a lot of faith in the car, just doing a pull right there.
What were you saying about torque earlier?
I say it's the torque down here that matters. It's the torque at 1,000 RPM. Okay, well, you see exactly what we're seeing. Unfortunately, the oil system has no longer been able to adequately take care of this car. It's the stock twin oil coolers from an R1. I've been using them for years, but here's the problem. The way that the hoses are all routed, it's causing the whole thing to backfeed into the pan. Doesn't sound like a huge problem, except for the fact that the pan level is now rising up, and where that pan is absolutely toasted, right there, that spot, because you go from the old Cosmo front cover to the now FD front cover, the previous owner hamburgered that, and no amount of gasket sealer could solve that. So we now have the oil pan rising up and leaking. And I just don't like that because I don't want them to backfeed, and I just want it all to have high pressure because we had low pressure. We made, whatever, 500 horsepower on our very first pull, rich, and everything. Look at the positives here is that even though we had a weird ass oil problem, the machine made power on the very first pass, rich as hell. It made 500 horsepower, 370. So torque doesn't matter on a rotary, right? Even though I made it to 7,000 RPM and I let off, this thing definitely will scream all the way up to 10,000 if I'm not gonna go there, but Semi-P might try and make me. So we made it, we survived the first dyno. Yes, we didn't push the turbo to the limit, but what we were gonna do is fix all the oil system. I'm just gonna probably JB weld the front corner of that oil pan, get the oil coolers, the upgraded oil coolers on there, all of that upgraded, so that way we can come back and give you guys exactly what you and I want to see. We got some battle scars, but not the type that can really cause some serious pain. It's the reality. We have to come back to go for the absolutely insane stuff, but in this case, we survived. Another dyno session down on our belt, and I've learned a hell of a lot. New ECU, different car, different setup, but we'll be back.